Hello, Dr. Salah. My name is Muhammad and I'm living in Syria. I want to ask you about self-sabotage. When I become aware of my reactions and attitude that I am just doing a self-sabotage and I only feel bad and creating more problems in this relationship or this opportunity in business. What should I do? I become aware. Now, what should I do as an action or a technique to stop this and do something better, like starting a serendipity or something? And thank you.
Hello, Mohammed. I'm glad you asked that question. And it is a continuation for the previous question by Fatima. This is a caution and a warning and a suggestion about self sabotage because most people don't understand. Let me take it piece by piece because once we understand this, life changes. Number one, know that every self sabotage in the world is justified. People who ruin their lives don't ruin it and say, because I wanted to ruin my life. They don't. People who ruin their chances and their opportunities, they do not get it to be ruined or they lose it. And then they say, well, I just wanted to lose it and ruin it because I wanted to enjoy loss. I mean, 99.99999% of people would never do that. They would justify the self-sabotage. So if I get a new job now, or if I get in a very beautiful relationship, or my relation improves with my husband or my wife, and then things are turning to be beautiful, joyful, or if I get to travel somewhere, or if I get a good chance or opportunity, then I should know now that this is what my energy has brought, my vibrations, and be very careful. Now, if I lose that job because the boss is so awful, or my husband or my wife is treating me so bad, or because I don't know, this country is not so great in doing this or that, then I'm just justifying not accepting that vibration. This is too high for me. People do that all the time. They do it all the time. Let me tell you a secret of what I do. I mean, my life gets into so much serendipity. And I am very careful with the people around me. Very, 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 very careful. With the employees, with the family members, with the friends. I'm very careful. Because as their lives start improving magically, they start self-sabotaging. I have seen this daily for the last 20 years, every day, every day. I'm very careful to give a raise to any employee. I study it from all aspects. I get them to wait for it longer. I get them to really feel the sense of worth that they are worth it. Otherwise, if I give them all the time, then without any feeling of gratitude from their side, they will self-sabotage it. And in my life, I'm considered, if I could say that without bragging, but I'm considered a kind person. So if I have $1,000, for example, I would usually invest in $400, save $100, and then pay $300 in expenses and give $200. Okay, so and give it usually 180 to the people around me and then 20 to the faraway people. So this is my usual mentality of how it works. So 20% of given from what you own is a lot of money. So if you're making 10,000, that's 2,000 a month. Okay, so if I own 1,000,000, I'll give 200,000 a year and something like that. So it gets, the bigger the amount you get, the bigger you give. And not only in terms of money, it also happens in terms of love, emotions, and other things too. Opportunities, chances, knowledge, awareness, information, etc. But it always happens. If you give so much, you will face a self sabotage. So you gotta be very careful or teach people how to self worth. The second suggestion and caution, you got to know that if you got something good and then this something good became bad, most likely most likely you've done a self-sabotage. It doesn't matter, well, he did, they did, the boss did, whatever did. It's, if you got it to be negative now, it means something wrong happened, and you have to understand the common factor. Let me give you an example. If I got into a business, I have business in UK, I have business in Bosnia, I have business in Sri Lanka, I have a business in Kuwait and other places. So sometimes the business here does not tend to be good. Okay, so I shift to something else, and then, or the business that I'm doing or a project that I'm doing right now, it's not working well. So I shift to another project, it works well, I love it, I like it, it succeeds. That's okay. That's not a self-sabotage. That's telling me that this project is not good for you. This is the message I get from the universe, that this project is not good for you, or this country is not working well for you, something like that, you know. Now, there are people who are really, really higher in serendipity, that they work things even if they're bad, okay? It will work for their side. Then that's fine. But I mean, let's talk that if we are average people. So this project did not work, that did. Okay, fine. Now that did actually succeeded more and made more success. So I'm enjoying it, I'm making it even more, etc. That's okay. But what happens with a person that if he starts this project, he succeeds, then something comes. It's the country is doing this, or you know, the authorities are doing that, or whatever, and he goes to another project. Then it's the boss that, you know, that doesn't understand. Then he goes to a relation. Oh, it's he doesn't understand, or she doesn't understand. Then he goes to. You gotta understand that there is a common factor there, which is you. Okay, if you keep changing and you face everything everywhere, you have to understand the common factor. That is very important. To be aware is to understand what keeps repeating and ruining what I'm getting. So, for example, if I get in a bad mood, and then yes, tomorrow I get in a bad mood, and then the next day I get in a bad mood, my being an aware person, I would ask, what did I eat in the last hour? And then I write them all down. Next day I write them all down. Then I find out, wow, this is what I am sensitive to, sugar, okay, or salt, I don't know, or something like, you know, corn or wheat or gluten or anything. So I find out, I write it, now I know, I'm sensitive, I'm tolerant to this. Or there was no common factor of the food, I changed the food and really didn't, so it must be then a thought. Is it a thought that I've thought of this or thought of that? Or I wore this or wore that? Or it's the weather, or it's the temperature, or whatever. This is an aware person. An unaware person dies without knowing. He would not know. He would die and he would never know. It takes him years and he never finds out. He never finds out that this food killed him, or this word killed him, or this thought killed him. He would never know. He is not an aware person. An aware person would always look for the common factor. So in self-sabotage, you gotta understand that the common factor is you. So I gotta solve me. Okay, that's the issue. I gotta go inside and solve me. I gotta teach myself how to be self-worth. When I get something good and the boss is not good, that's okay. But I got something good. It's okay that he becomes not good, or my husband is not good, or my wife is not good, but I'm getting something good now. So I'm worth that good. I don't have to justify not accepting this relation or this job or whatever, and not knowing that I've ruined it. That is a very important talk. I'd like to extend about this in the future. So if you could increase the questions in more detailed, I would be glad to answer them. Thank you.